first thing we're going to look at is EbSynth. And what I'm going to do first is just play a 1-minute video because one of the developers of EbSynth explains it, or actually demonstrates it much easier than I could. So here we go.
Video from your vacation in Paris where you're eating a French baguette. But it looks too plain and you want your mom to see that you're eating your vegetables, so you'd like to turn the baguette into a nice tomato sandwich. If it was a photo, you could do the edit in Photoshop. But how do you manipulate a video like that? And that's where EbSynth steps in. You play a video in it, and when you pause it, you can edit that frozen frame just like a photo. And when you hit play, EbSynth propagates your changes to the rest of the video. So you're editing still frames, and EbSynth is applying those edits to entire videos. Now, what can you actually do with that? Well, you can take a video of a duck and turn it into a dragon. Or become a living portrait in Hogwarts. You can create fictional worlds. It's up to you. Just experiment and explore ideas. You can make pretty cool stuff with very basic setups. But you don't always have to make big transformations. EbSynth gives you enough control to do subtle video touch-ups as well, like digital makeup. And the video doesn't have to be live action. You can add more details to your animation too. Or use your own performance to bring your characters to life.
Funnily enough, when I checked into it, it turns out it's actually been around for quite some time in version 1. But version 1 was complex beyond belief because you had to take your video and export every frame as a separate image and do all sorts of gyrations with it that just make it really not feasible to work with. But then just recently they came out with version 2, which is what you just saw a little bit of. And there's pluses and minuses. The plus is that it's here and it can be used and that it's free. The minus is they've only brought out one basic tutorial so far. And some of the stuff that you need to know how to do, they say they're coming out with those tutorials, but they haven't yet. So you'll see that results are a little bit, well, we'll see. Sometimes it works great first time. Sometimes it doesn't. Here we are in EbSynth. So there's 4 different ways you can start. You can either load your own video here, or you can go here and start brand new from scratch, or you can open an existing one that you've done before and that you've saved. But we're going to take a look at pick from library because they start with some basic starter points here that you can play with. And we're going to do just that. And we're going to see how lucky we get. So let's say we take this guy. And the basic idea is you look for a frame that is a frame that you want to use for your basic thing. And then you create a new track. And then you open up here, generate image. And this is Nano Banana. And so we could say an alien robot head and go generate. Okay. So it changed his head into a robot head. And if I click play, it'll propagate and then it'll start playing. And as he moves his head, the robot head also moves to match. You see the basic idea? Now, you'll notice there's some little glitchy things here and there where there was some motion, and they have a whole bunch of tips on what to do about that, because if the guy suddenly turned his head sharply to the left, that would cause typically a glitch. You see, what it did here is it created a keyframe at that exact point, and you just have to find the place of the glitch and create a new keyframe and give it new instructions to fix whatever it was. So let's go and go back to new and pick another one from the library. So let's take this links. Now what I'm going to try and do is find where he's looking directly at the camera. Okay, I'm going to use that as my starting point. And I'll show you a couple of different things that actually three different things that you can do here. You can take a brush and you can, and this I'm not good at all, but I'm going to try and draw some dark glasses on him. And then theoretically, when he moves his head around, even though he's going from side to side, the glasses will follow. Now, if we wanted to get smarter than that, we'd start a new track and we go to Nano Banana and say, dark glasses. Now, here's one of those kind of glitchy things that I mentioned. Now, you notice when it goes over there, it really expands the dark glasses more than we would want. And that's where we have to go in. I'm not going to do it now because it takes a little time, but that's where we go in and find the place where it's worst. And we either erase this portion or we regenerate. And this is the video I'm waiting for them to bring out to explain how to do this properly. I've tried a few things and a couple of times it worked for me and a couple of times it didn't. But actually, let me load yeah, that one worked a bit better. Not great, but a bit better. But what we can also do is we say, okay, a new track, and then we say, add a necklace of stone. So it's propagating that track. Okay, it didn't do too bad. Now I could also say, okay, each track is separate. So there's the necklace. We could say, okay, let's have that necklace fade in a little bit earlier. So we would grab track 3, which is the necklace, and move its beginning here, and then click on this little arrow here, and then we can create a fade in. So like a dissolve kind of, not a dissolve, but more of a fade. So it gradually comes in. So they're giving us various different things that we can do. I'm going to show you one more thing in here before we move on to the next tool. And this one is interesting. Let me go back to new, don't save. And I'm going to load this lion. And I'm going to find, let's see, yeah, from there. And I'm going to do something different here. I'm going to say, I'm going to go over to this generate an image, and I'm going to, instead of using Nano Banana, I'm going to use Stable Diffusion. And I'm going to say something, a beautiful painting of a sleepy lion, expressive brushstroke artwork. Generate. It should be, once they get it better, it should be pretty good in terms of you being able to take any image and then add things to it and subtract things and change things as you need to. Because they say that they claim that anything you can do in Photoshop to an image, you can do in EbSynth to a video. I'm not sure that's 100% true yet, but it's getting there. And right now, it's basically free. So you can just experiment around and try things. And okay, it's done. So it changed the lion into a painting, right? And let's say well, actually, let me just make it. See, now the lion is moving. The painting is moving. Now, see, it's starting to glitch here. It's starting to glitch badly at the end. And what I learned was that how you fix that is you go to the place where it's really glitchy and you select it, and then you do this again, but you change this to 30%, and it then fixes that area and it does a fine polish. I'm not going to do that right now because I timed it and it was like 5 minutes or something to do it. But then again, this is a good use case for, let's say, taking this and starting out with the lion like that and having it into the painting. So like I say, it's free and you can save everything you do. And the Pro version gives you high resolution rendering and more keyframe generations, but I haven't even reached the point where I've ever run out of any because I'm still experimenting. Because I only found this thing a couple of days ago and I've been busy with other things. So I learned what I could for tonight.